shit. I might have my Instagram on here. Welcome back to the Scarlet Standard, where we go beyond the scoreboard and bring you the personality, stories, and surprises inside UNLV. Today we got a guest in the chair who's rewriting history, not just here at UNLV, but back home for her country too. She's from India. Her dad played on the Indian men's national team, and her mom played on the Indian men's women's national team. So the competitiveness is genetic. She became the first female thrower from India to receive a NCAA D1 scholarship, then became the Indian woman ever to break 16 meters in indoor shot put, and she owns the UNLV discus record. Please welcome Krishna. Krishna, how you doing?
Hey, thank you so much for having me. Thank you so much for having me, Mike. I'm really happy to be here. Love the work that you've been giving us, the recognition to us, athletes who actually here from, who are representing UNLV, making Las Vegas proud. So thank you so much for having me, and excited to be here.
Absolutely. How's everything been so far? How's your off season been? How's your training going?
Life after Eugene, I just finished. Eugene was maybe like 2 months before. 2 months now from now, I think it was in June, and I'm so sorry. There's this big background voice, the trumpet in my head. Can you stop the music by any chance?
Yeah.
I cannot hear you at all.
I don't know.
Perfect. Yeah, it kept going. Okay, I'm so sorry. Can you please ask me the question again? So sorry.
No, you're good. I don't know.
Yes. Yeah, I had music and you were talking to me. I'm like, I'm trying to focus.
I think when I was playing stuff editing, it just
No
playing, I couldn't hear anything.
No, but I was able to hear it. I'm like, okay, should I answer the question? Because I need to the music is nice, but I want to hear it by the same time you ask me a question. And I was like, okay, how am I supposed to do this?
That's my fault. I was just basically asking, how's your off season going? Because you were mentioning after Eugene. So how's everything going?
Our life after Eugene is pretty good. Eugene did me good, and I've been having an injury, calf injury for past 2 years now, strain on the muscle and everything. So right now I have been just hitting my rehab. My off season is basically inside the training room, working with my trainer Elva, and she's just pushing me to my limits. She wants me to be a better athlete this year, want to be more healthy. So we are gonna officially start practicing. I'll be back throwing. Should be back on the track by first week of September. That's when the official practice starts. So I'm really excited to go back. But this time I want to be more healthier so I can accomplish way better things that I accomplished from last season.
How's life been treating you in Vegas so far? Obviously, you came from you went from India to UTEP first, and then UTEP to El Paso to Vegas. How's Vegas been treating you so far?
Vegas has taught me a lot of lessons. I officially make my 3rd year anniversary this week because I came to Vegas on I think in 2022. So it's almost 3 years I've been in Vegas, and Vegas has taught me a lot, not just track wise, but at the same time, as a student and as a person in general. Vegas is way different than living in El Paso, if that makes sense. El Paso was it's a very quiet city, but Vegas is very loud, and I think I have started to like it and starting to get used to it. So yes, I'm having a learningful time here in Vegas.
What's been the biggest change for you moving to being in Vegas?
I think my biggest change is how big of a program UNLV track is. When I came from El Paso in 2022, I apologize. I wanted to train under Coach Scott. He's no longer with UNLV track. And now Coach Jet has taken over. I think there's been a huge change in terms of how the dynamics work at UNLV track and how I think the community reach has been insane. There are people who I'm walking around campus and they're recognizing me. I'm like, hey, you're the Indian girl, right? I said, yeah, I'm the Indian girl. So I think the reception has been great. At the same time, it's been quite a learningful lesson, I would say. It's been tough. It's been a roller coaster, but we are we are trying to overcome all those obstacles and trying to break those glass ceilings. So yes.
Take us back to what got you into getting into track and field. What was that like? Was it something you wanted to do as a kid, or was it just something you picked?
I think when I got recruited to do track and field, I got recruited at my very early stages as a shot put thrower back in my middle school. My high school teacher, she was on a hunt to recruit somebody who was a thrower. And back then the perception was, hey, you're tall, you're brittle on the heavier side, you can help us win an overall school championship. And those days back in India, school championships is really, really important. because it's kind of like a status. And I think I was able to go in there, and I fell in love. When I first went, I was just happy because I was able to not go to math classes because I was really bad at math. And I just, it was a chance for me to just be at the track, be out there and, just bunk classes, give excuses not going to classroom, just be going to track. And I get to do this for a living. Yeah, it sounds amazing. So yeah, that's how I got into track. And I slowly started finding a passion. I just loved how throwing made me feel. I was able to put so much of aggression and passion towards throwing, and it really helped me build confidence within myself. So yes, that's how I started throwing.
Initially, when you came over, you ended up at UTEP. What made you make that leap to UTEP?
You said, can you once again repeat the question? Sorry, your voice was in and out.
No, you're good. Take us. You end up at UTEP, becoming the first Indian woman to ever throw at the Division One level. What made you take that leap to go to UTEP?
I worked with my Jamaican high school, Jamaican coach. His name is Michael Wessel. I started working with him in 2019 back in India, and back in India, it wasn't the norm for a foreign coach to come to India and especially train and recruit Indian athletes at a grassroots level, so that they can start clinching medals for our nation, right? So when that academy opened back in a state called Andhra Pradesh, he is the one who actually planted the seed in my head. Hey, you seem to be speaking really good English, and you seem to be, you sound very independent. Have you ever heard about the NCAA system? So he's the one who planted the seed in my head. And when I saw, he connected me with this throwers who he has been sending from Jamaica over like 35 years. He's been sending a lot of female athletes, especially throwers. I got in touch with them. I got to speak to them about the opportunities. And this was just a kid who was 17 years old. And, for somebody who is not from this country, not from the United States, have always envisioned of coming to the United States. It's like US is like a dream for any foreigners. So to be able to do that, to be able to tell like, hey, you get to go to the country that you dream about for free and get an education and get to do what you really love. That's what got me, going to Jamaica. And then from Jamaica, I went to UTEP on a full ride scholarship. That's what got me there.
What made you transfer to UNLV?
I wanted to try because I genuinely felt like UTEP was a place where I could, I felt like that place could no longer help me grow as an athlete because I think I accomplished every single thing that I can possibly think of. I was the conference champion, I was a conference USA champion in this case. I already won the silver medal in shot put. And one thing that took me really hard was I couldn't qualify for the regionals that year. I threw 50 meters and I think I was in the 60, and I think I really thought I was going to hit it big, but then I couldn't. And there was some I felt like there was no room for growth for me to be there. So I generally felt that transition would be a good step. Like I had to take the next uncomfortable step so that I could grow as an athlete and as a person.
When you first got to UNLV, did you feel pressure with all the success you had at UTEP, especially representing your country the way that you did?
So when I came to when I transitioned from from UTEP to UNLV, I had big ambitions and goals of that particular season. Like the 2022-2023 season, I was coming to represent UNLV. I had big goals and big aspirations. Okay, fine, we're gonna make the NCAA qualifications. We're gonna go to the NCAA championship. And one thing that I eyed on was to break the school record because I knew the school record was within my reach. But then, a huge took toll place. Like I think 3 years of setback. I came to UNLV in 2022, and I finally had my breakthrough moment here for UNLV this year, which was in 2025. So there was a lot of questions being asked as to like what's happening with you. You still in the US? Like why isn't I able to perform from my country? But then people don't understand that there was a huge transition for me as an athlete because, like I said, the head coach was switched, and at the same time the throwing coach they changed. Like the throws and the head coach I came here for, he was no longer the head coach, nor the throws coach. So Coach Jet had to come in, and when there's a new head coach, they bring a new set of staff. So for me to get adjusted and for me to get well acquainted with my now throwing coach Jordan Roach, it took me a good while. So yes, I would say most of it was yes. It was little pressurizing because you have so much of questions because you left such a you left at such a high note, and then suddenly you come to a next university thinking that you were going to get your next big bump, and then for you to like be pushed back, it definitely did hurt a lot, and it did made me question my decision of like coming to UNLV because sometimes that's what happens, like you work so hard and you see none of your results are actually heading toward the right direction, like you hope for, you start thinking negative. So yeah.
1 second. I don't know what happened. Called my hotel room for some reason. I travel a lot for work, and that was just odd. That's the second time that's happened to me in the last 3 places I've gone, and I don't know why. It just it's like, why is somebody calling my hotel? Like, I'm just sitting in here talking, like, not doing anything. That's crazy.
And I completely understand. It happens with a lot of traveling.
So let's talk about that a little bit. You mentioned that the 3 years have kind of been up and down, and you've had differences. You've had different coaching staffs. Who driven this year to prove people wrong in a sense, and to get back to where you feel you were when you were at UTEP?
Okay. So the only drive, so 2020, I finally, out of the setback of 3 years, like I said, I came, I had a lot of like mental health challenges. I went through a lot of depression, and change of coaches made me, made me question like each and every step that I made. And the big game changer for me was the thought process that I went into 2025. I couldn't accept, because that was going to be my last outdoor collegiate season, and I couldn't accept the fact that I was going to leave the NCAA circuit as a mediocre athlete. I couldn't accept that fact, and I had to change. I had to literally flip the switch. I told myself that my failures and my setbacks were not going to define me, who I was a person, rather it would mold me as an athlete that I'm becoming. And I think that's the big drive, and the change of mindset that I had to take, within, you know, that I'm not gonna leave the United States as a mediocre athlete. I was not gonna leave. I didn't, we as international students, we make so much of sacrifices. We stay away from our family. We're not in our own comfortable zone. We basically, leave so much of sacrifices. You know, there are so many things we leave that I was not gonna settle for anything less. I mean, why would I? Like, I'm struggling here. I'm literally, in a different country where I don't, I'm speaking the language. I am trying to, be a commoner here. Why would I settle for less? So that was the biggest thought process and the drive that changed within me, transitioning from 2024 season to 2025 season.
Let's talk about a little bit. You've been even Dean's List 3 times. How do you, like you mentioned, with the mental health challenges and the physical challenges of being a Division I athlete, how do you balance that with your school, especially at the high level that you have been able to do?
I mean, just to tell you, like, I'm just not just a student. I'm a part-time worker. I work for UNLV Athletics. I am also a thrower as well, and a lot of it comes with the desire and drive to be the best. So that means a lot of changes, like no procrastination. The basic of the basic things, like how are you going? For me, my biggest strength has been time management, because we are student athletes. It's not just we have to go to class. We have to, I'm a worker as well. It's also that we have like certain events that we have to show up to. We have certain seminars that we have to show up to. And the only thing that's helped me has been time management. At the same time, like seeking resources. Like I come from a system in India where we didn't have much of these resources. And for me to come to the United States and say like, hey, you have an academic advisor, you have a psychologist, you have a nutritionist, you have your supervisor, like everybody is here willing to help you. I think that's one thing that I really love about UNLV. The community within, it's the internal organization. Everybody is so helping and so encouraging you. They want you to achieve in different sectors of life, like not just being an athlete, not just being as a student, but also as a worker, and at the same time as a person. So I think that's what really helped me, to be on the dean's list. And now I'm going to grad school, which I'm really proud of. It's one of my highest achievement ever. Like to be able to be able to be the first one from my family to earn undergraduate. At the same time, now it's going to be a master's degree from a US institution. It's a proud achievement, and my mom has always told me, like you said, my mom is a former basketball player. She's a coach for the international basketball team, and she's a selector as well. And she's always told me that there will be a time when I have to hang my boots, and during that particular time, the only thing that's going to come in as a weapon is my education, is the knowledge that I gain throughout my life and experiences.
Let's talk a little bit about what's your pre-meet routine. Take us through that a little bit. Do you have a certain hype song you listen to? Do you have a certain superstition? Like walk us through, what's that routine like?
Okay, some people might find it funny, but ever since I've started competing in the US, a lot of changes have I've brought into my like a pre-workout, like a pre-warm-up routine. Is I would get up, talk to my coaches. I think before my comp day, the night before, I like to have sit down with my coach. I like to talk to him just to make sure that me and him are on the same page as to like, okay, what are we supposed to do? Like, how are we? I mean, we work for it throughout the months and everything, but just for a competition, just before I throw. Just before the day, I asked him like, "Hey, what are we going to focus on? How many throws are we going to take? What's the mindset?" On the day of the competition, like I try to distract myself. I am an overthinker, so I put on a lot of music. The only song, the hype song that I love is "Lose Yourself" by Eminem. I listen to the song on repeat. That's my hype song. Like that song gets me pumped up. Anytime you see me with my Beats headphones, like nodding my head, is like I'm most likely listening to "Lose Yourself" by Eminem. And I distract myself by putting on makeup and just talking to my family, telling them I love them, and they tell me that they're really proud of me, and just get out of my day and handle business.
Let's talk about a little bit the Mount West Championships last year. You competed against Brock Lesnar's daughter. What was that like? And did she have any good advice for you?
Maya's a beast, and I have been competing with Maya since 2021. Ever since she was at ASU, I was at UTEP. I've thrown with her. I think that time Maya was throwing 15 or 16 meters, and I was in the 14-meter dash. And now to be able to throw with her, and she's throwing 19 meters, and I'm throwing 16 meters, and I'm like, okay, where did that 2 3 years go? Okay, so one thing about me is when I go to competition, I'm not talking to nobody. I'm a competitor, like I'm a proper competitor. Like, hey, it's we might be friends, but I'm not gonna talk to you when I'm in the ring. First, for me, that's a purpose. That's my purpose, and that's my intention. And my intention is to beat you. And my listener, she's an amazing. She's a beast, and she, whatever applause she's got, I'm really happy for her, and best wishes for her future. Maya is definitely a definition of how what hard work and just pure dedication can take you to. Because I have seen this girl throw 15, 16 meters, and now I see this girl throwing 19, 20 meters, and for you to be in the process and show yourself that your progression is linear, but it's very it's slow. It doesn't go really fast. So yeah, for Maya, I see that she's a very fierce competitor. She's like very locked in. So yeah, I haven't spoken to she's Colorado State. I know we are UNLV. She's my rival, but I haven't had like dialogues with her, if that makes sense.
No, that makes sense. What's since you've been in the United States, what's the most random snack that you've tried?
So some of my friends, when we go to movies, they eat popcorn with white gummies or something of the sort. I think they eat
Like the
popcorn
gummy
with gummies.
bears?
Yeah, the gummy bears. I think they eat it together, and I feel like that's really weird. And I think for me was when I realized that peanut butter jelly sandwich is actually a snack. That hit me really hard.
I think it's a snack, especially those like Uncrustables. Like I would feel
Yeah,
that snack. That's just me though.
I mean, back in India, right? Like, bread is something that's like, you have it just once a week. It's like because an Indian breakfast menus and Indian cuisine is way different from that of the US. For me to just be on bread and just eat it, and I'm like, oh, so where is the real food? Like, where are the fruits? Where are the other stuff? So yeah, for me, the weirdest thing I would say was the peanut butter jelly sandwich and the popcorn with gummy bears. Please don't come for me, people. Please don't come for me.
You've mentioned that you wanted to represent India at the Olympics. LA's 2028, Brisbane's 2032. How was that dream when you close your eyes?
The when I threw 55, I remember that night, and I told myself I actually did it. Now it makes me feel like what, it's more realistic. And funny enough, me and my coach, we were having a conversation today, and we were talking about like, hey, how is the long-term goal standing? And now we're talking about like, okay, let's start targeting 60 meter. And for a thrower like me, 60 meter and a 55 meters basically like the entire bracket. It can get you medals. It can get medals in like major championship. And to be able to tell myself, to be able to now feel like, okay, LA is way more realistic. It is getting more realistic as I progress each day. It makes me really happy. And at the same time, like, it makes me want to push myself. Like, hey, I'm getting there. Let me keep pushing myself. And this is it makes me feel happy that I'm heading the right direction. Whatever is happening, whatever obstacles I'm facing, it is for the brighter future.
Is there a younger rebel thrower that fans should be watching as your potential protege?
I I would say one of the younger girls. I mean, all my younger throwers, my girls who are throwers, like we have Lauren. Lauren is an amazing shot putter and a hammer thrower. I think she's on a lookout for shot put. I really think she can do some really good distances. Now we have a new recruit, Amaya. Amaya is really good. I've heard some really good things about her. She's a transfer, and she seems to have the physique of being a really good hammer thrower. And then we have Roxine. Roxine is a Jamaican discus thrower. She's not like a younger protege, but is up there to like to if there's somebody who can like immediately go after my record or get closer to my school record would be her. And then Sophia is another one. Sophia is very young, very talented. I'm really rooting for all these girls. I cannot just name one person. I have to name all my girls. So yeah, I'm rooting for all of them, and they're gonna shine. I'm pretty positive under Coach Jordan's direction and Coach Win, our lifting coach direction.
There are young girls in India watching you right now who maybe didn't know it was possible for them to be in your spot 5 years ago. What would you tell them?
For the young girl out there in India, for the young girls who are out there in India, not just in India, but all over the world, don't, I want you to know that take those uncomfortable steps. Oftentimes we're very hesitant to take those uncomfortable steps because, life is, it might be uncertain, but life is full of uncertainty and your life doesn't begin. Your life begins at the end of your comfort zone. And, the more comfortable that you are, know that there's a bigger world out there. For me, my Jamaican coach used to always tell me that India is not just the world. There's a bigger world outside of India. And for you to have those shape-shifting conversations with their family, and for you to tell them like, hey, give them the assurance that you know what you're doing. Be confident within yourself. And also like surround yourself with people who are confident and who know that even during your low times, you are on the right path. It's very important for you to associate with those people and at the same time, like reach out. The people in this world always would like to help you. Like for me, when I came to the NCAA system, I found it really hard to just resonate to a person, to look up to a person and be like, hey, how was his life today at the States? Like how hard is it? What do I have to do? I had nobody like that. Now that for me to see that a lot more Indian female athletes are coming up, are being on the NCAA horizon, makes me happy that one of my coaches, his wife told me that unknowingly but knowing him, I'm actually powering a legacy. I'm pathing a way of, more doors, opening more doors. Even when I went to NCAA championship, many coaches out there didn't know that I was the first Indian female discus thrower. They've seen me throughout my years here at the NCAA system. They want me to like open up more doors and more opportunities to other young girls. And that's what I wanted to, take those uncomfortable decisions, take those uncomfortable steps, reach out to the people that are rooting for you is very important. And yeah, we definitely we can break those barriers. Every single time you break those barriers, you are setting yourself for right. You're setting up yourself for the future in a brighter way, if that makes sense.
If I asked Angelina this question, so I'm gonna ask you the same question. If UNLV track and field was sponsored by any restaurant of your choice, who would be on the jersey and why?
Okay, my favorite fast food is Chipotle. And Chipotle, why? Because I feel like I'm going to pitch for Chipotle now. I love Chipotle because it's way healthier. And at the same time, we are at least nutritional. We as athletes, we need to hit those nutritional values. And Chipotle, I know it's, I think each and every athlete, no matter which level of, sorry, my Chipotle order would be a burrito bowl. Funny enough, that's what I ate before talking to you. Would be getting my rice, white rice, black beans, fajita veggies, chicken, queso, sour cream, corn, lettuce, and cheese. Every single time the Chipotle employees see my bowl, they're like, all right, she's a big bag. Like she's eating a lot of food. So yeah, that's my go-to order.
And if it makes you feel better, I interviewed Darian Jones, a football player. He plays running back. And he mentioned that he goes to the McDonald's by campus so much that they know him by name when he walks in there.
We haven't got to that level. I try to cook more because it's way more cheaper. Yeah, if I trust me, like I love Chipotle. I'm the happiest person when there's team dinner. The first person I'm like, can we have Chipotle? And then my teammates are looking at me like, come on, Krish, like something else apart from Chipotle. I love Chipotle. Chipotle is like it's like the food that I'm used to. Like you have rice, you have veggies, you have chicken. It's just amazing, amazing, amazing. I love it.
What is the weirdest snack or ritual food wise that you have before a meet?
I don't.
If you need an example, Angelina said that she eats a big bowl of Fruit Loops before any track meet. So like what is like your go-to pre-game or pre-meet meal?
No, I honestly I don't have because I just go as per what the team dinner is. For example, if the team wants Italian food, they eat Italian food. But for me, if I had a chance to choose what would be my pre-game food, when we travel to Cali and Texas, I love kava. Kava is like the Greek version, like Mediterranean cuisine of like Chipotle. I love me kava. I love me some kava. Like I love it because I know I'm loading up the carbs, I'm loading up the protein. I love it. I love kava. So that would be my pre-game food. If I had it every single comp, I'll be really happy.
I had one more question. I'm drawing a blank. You've been in Vegas for a couple years. What is your go-to other than fast food? What's your go-to restaurant or place that you would recommend to anybody watching?
Okay, if you love sushi, okay, I'm a big foodie. If you love sushi, okay, I've been to this place. There are two spots that I would recommend. One is I think it's called Sakana Sushi down here by Madeline. I love their sushi, all you can eat sushi. And for another sushi spot I can think of top of my head would be Mr. Shishito. I'm not exactly sure where it is. My teammate, my former teammate, her name is Maddie. She took me to the place. Love the place. And for Greek food, Mediterranean food, please try Stefanos. Stefanos is so good. I love Stefanos. So yeah, those are the two spots that I could think of. It has to be student pocket friendly. So these are the spots. No bougie place is gonna come from me because I don't go to those places. Like I have to keep it very reasonable. So yeah.
Have any unique NIL deal? What would it be? So if you need an example, Donovan Spellman, a linebacker for UNLV, he mentioned that he wanted. Have you ever been to 7-Eleven and seen the Shaq theme, like the theme gummy bears or candy?
Okay.
You had Marcel McDuffie, who loves comic books, and he said that he would love to be in a comic book.
For me, the NIL deal I could think of would be makeup. Like I'm slowly right now I'm in my era of makeup. I'm trying to be more I wanna learn more of makeup because that thing has very intrigued me. So I would say possible maybe like my own and I'll skincare package, slash makeup package. I think that will be really cool.
That would be cool.
Yeah, that would be cool. Yeah, so I don't want food, I don't want anything, just give me skincare.
On the field, on the track, off the field,
Yeah,
off the track.
literally. A girl can be show up, she can be a show girl even on the track and even off the track. Why not?
Have you so you mentioned you worked for UNLV. What do you do for UNLV?
I shout out to my team, shout out to my whole supervisors and team at Thomas and Mack Center. I work with the UNLV ticketing department. I work at the Thomas and Mack Center. I work in the customer care service and at the same time the call center for UNLV. Love the people. Amazing set of people. Like always encouraging. Even it's so cute. Your workplace is really encouraging and rooting for you. Is every single time they would see me on the UNLV athletics news article. One of my supervisors is like this. They would go print it and they'll put it on they'll put it on the board and like go, let's go Krishna. And I'm like, that's so cute. Like, I love them. Shout out to big shout out to my UNLV athletic staff at the Thomas and Mack Center. So yes, I work with them.
What would you say is harder, competing in a track event or working in a group project for one of your classes?
Okay, for me, it's a very hard. Okay. For me, Krishna can do both of it. Krishna can go at the track and compete at the same time. Krishna can be a great group member. Krishna can be she can be a great group member, but can the group member be great to Krishna? I don't know. There's a question mark right there. I can do my job, and I think that's what it is. Like every single time when we have group projects in any of my classes that I go, I'm like putting forward like, hey, I'm a student athlete. At the same time, I work. I would like to get everything done. When we have like-minded people, like they come into a group. Luckily for me, all my classmates that I've worked with have always been like-minded. They're like, hey, let's get it done. If you're able to direct them and set a goal, they've always been great at it. So I would say none is hard for me. Like everything, I can manage both.
Which meet are you most excited for this year?
Just because I have an indoor season left, it's the Mountain West Indoor Championship and the NCAA Indoors Championship. Wanting to go to these two meets for Mountain West Championship, I had a conversation with the coach, and I told Colorado State is not going to beat me this time. I'm going after the title this year for Mountain West as a Mountain West Indoor Champion. And at the same time, like I don't want to go to the NCAA Indoor like how I did at UG, be as a participant, but I want to go as a contender. As a contender, at least to get in the top 5 spots, which I think I'm more than capable of, and I think my rehab and my off season is kind of gearing up and lining for that. So I'm really excited for these two meets since I only have an indoor season left for UNLV track.
Well, that's all I got for you. It was great doing this with you. I would love to do it again with you throughout the season to keep all the fans updated. I'm going to try to find as many streaming options as I can to watch you guys. I recommend that all fans do that too. UNLV athletics is more than just football and basketball. There's so many athletes who work their butts off every single day, and they deserve all the attention and all the love too. If you have any links that I can send them to me, I'll try to get it out there as much as I can, and I'd love to continue to do follow-ups with you throughout the season.
Definitely, and I just want to thank you, Mike, and Scarlet Media. Your account has been doing really great, and it's very important to find those mediums who are not just focused on their success, but also the story that takes for you to be a successful athlete, right? And to the fans out there, root for UNLV track and field. This year is going to be way different. The new norm that we're trying to build, that Coach Kamala Jet, our head coach, is trying to build is to make the NCAA going to NCAA championship as a new norm rather than just going to the conference and seeing how the regions is. And yeah, keep rooting for UNLV track. We most likely will be having a home meet in April. So do show up because each and every one of you who are actually rooting for us, you guys make a huge change in the performance that the performance we're trying to do. All we're trying to do is try to make UNLV look great, UNLV better. And yeah, thank you so much for having Krishna Jayasankar. I really appreciate you
Hey,
guys.
if you end up winning the Mount West Championship and making the Olympics, I will get you a billboard. I will pay for a billboard spot for you.
That's really good. Like for me, that's the aim. Like to go win the Mountain West Indoor Championship. That's on the radar. That's something that last year I came third. I broke the national record. This year is to build. The records are meant to be broken. So it'd be great if I'm able to break my own record. Like we have Mondo Duplantis, the greatest of all time in pole vault. That man is breaking his record just 1 centimeter after 1 centimeter. So I think he almost broke his own record for 12 times literally, and he's still breaking the record, right? So I want to, it'd be great if I can do that before I finish my NCAA collegiate career this next season. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to the entire track season. I'm really looking forward to working with those beautiful young talented girls that Coach Jet and the team have recruited.
Well, thank you again for doing this, and I hope to talk to you again soon.
Of course. Thank you so much for having me, guys. Enjoy your day. Thank you.
Thank you guys for tuning in. Some more content this week. I plan on dropping a UNLV football preview for 2025. I'm going to try to have some fans on, some other media accounts on, so we can get a preview of the Mount West teams. Also, let's get out there, show your support. Football starts on Friday. You have track coming up soon. Athletics getting in the full swing, and UNLV deserves it. So thank you guys for tuning in. It's always a pleasure doing this for you, and go Rebels.